Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Collecting and Hobbies presents Wrestling Figure Review. And today we're going to do a double review, hopefully, if we have time, over this figure, Sasha Banks Series 80, with the Money in the Bank briefcase bonus. That's what she looks like in the packaging. And in case you want to see, that's the back of it. Sasha Banks, Rich Swann, Brock Lesnar, Chris Jericho, and Roman Reigns, all in Series 80. Okay, so for the figure, I customized her just a tiny bit, put a custom belt on her. I can tell you right now, the paint is awesome on this figure, except for right there. She's got a little orange splotch. I tried to scratch that off, and it looked like I just scratched off more blue, and it became orange again. I don't know if they painted it orange first, and then I don't know what's going on there. But let's go over articulation real quick, and then we'll talk about the rest. The articulation, there's no more ankle joint movement. There's, the swivel at the boot cut, and you got, of course, the single jointed knees or pads. Move a little bit. They're pretty tight on there. They don't really seem to move up or down or any way. Not really. They're pretty tight. So, and she's got ball jointed hips. She's got a swivel at the waist. She's got the new articulation with the elbows. And you can swivel them back and forth and up and down. You can also move her head, just barely. Just barely. And she does, I believe, have the face print technology. I'm pretty sure, but I'm not really sure, because it does look different than the other Sasha Banks from the Elite Walgreens. So let's go over the paint. Like I said, it looks good. The date code is on the back. At least it's on the back instead of on the front, like on Alicia Fox and Becky Lynch. Actually, for a basic, this looks really good. But her technically is supposed to be orange on half of her knee pad on each side, which they showed in the prototypes as well. Which I don't know why they didn't do that. I guess they just ran out of money or something and budget, because you got all these straps painted in, and they're perfect alignment pretty much. And same with on the side there, and right in here, and then again on this side, and then also on the arms. They're painted, I mean, they're all in perfect alignment all the way down. She's still got the, just like her other figures, the legit boss hands where you put her rings on if you want. But the paint on this is great, except for that one little flaw right there. Does it look like Sasha? Not really, but it's a great looking figure. It just doesn't really look like Sasha Banks totally. Now this belt that I have on her is a custom I got on eBay from, I think, Huffster Creations. Now these are really good for, see if you see the Velcro is actually where the buttons should be. And I mean, I could make it even tighter to go on her waist, but then it would be like up here, and then it would be, kind of like not quite as flat. It should be more like that. But yeah, that's the only customization I've done to this figure. But yeah, these belts are pretty good, and they'll even fit around my Elite 54 Charlotte, but just barely, even with the robe on. It barely stays on there. But he also makes one, he also prints one out that has Alexa Bliss, or says Little Miss Bliss on there. But, okay, so let's get into this other figure. All I've done so far is loosen up the tape a little so I could open it on screen like I normally do. This includes the NXT Women's Championship and the WWE Divas Championship. I got this for $10 at Big Lots, and yeah, just like recently, like a month or so ago, like in May of 2018, 3 years after it came out, pretty much, and they're just getting these, and they had a lot of them. They only have one page, though, or I would have got two, just because of the title belts. But there's her packaging, 5'8", Divas. So I've loosened this up. I've wanted to open this figure for a really long time. I bought her when she first came out back in 2015. I was going to get two then too, but I didn't. And so I'm glad that I found this one, especially for only $10. That's an amazing deal. That's half retail, and she normally sells for at least 30 or more on the aftermarket. See if I can get this open. One thing I don't like about the Elites, it's hard to open them without ripping the box. I know some people don't care about boxes, but I'm primarily a metal card collector, so I'll probably throw this away anyway. But let's see, do I gotta do anything else? Oh, it's taped up here too. I didn't realize that. Let me pause it. There's a whole bunch of tape on the top flap. Now I'm really gonna throw it away. Alright, so there's the backdrop. I don't know if this would be good for anything. Probably throw this away too. The main thing I wanted out of here, of course, the figure and the titles. I don't know what it is about Mattel, but back in the day, like 3 years ago, they were putting two titles in with one figure sometimes, like Elite 34 Paige right here, Elite 36 Stardust came with both tag team titles, even though they look exactly the same. But for a long time, he was selling for a lot on the aftermarket. Wow, look at that. But well, that's kind of funny. You can see the ways they're painted. Still see the purple even though it's painted black. Okay, so the articulation for this lady is a little bit different. She's still got the swivels, but it's more towards the ankle because of her boot. But she also has a little bit of movement in the ankles, the up and down. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. They still, I believe, have single jointed knees. They still have the same kind of articulation here in the hips and at the waist. And all of this is the same as the Mickey James review I just did, but it's different than Sasha because she doesn't have the bicep swivel. She doesn't have the articulation that goes up and down in the feet. And she also has a little bit of an ab crunch. Moves is little. Basically side to side and back and forth. I don't know why they don't just put a ball joint so you can swivel it, completely around like a Black Series figure or a Marvel Legends here like Gwenpool. You can swivel it all the way. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It would make it a whole lot more posable. You could do all sorts of like submission moves and stuff if you want to pose them and make it a whole lot better. So my page has a little bit of paint slop right there. It's got some white paint. And I don't know why. But other than that, it looks like the paint is pretty spot on. It's pretty good. A little bit of extra underneath that bow. Bow could be painted slightly better. But yeah, other than that, it's great. Now the head, it looks alright. Kind of Yeah, I mean, Paige is pretty pale now. So you can twist it all the way. Yeah, you can twist her all the way around if you want to. Unfortunately, she's got those slapping hands. She looks like she's going to get her nails done. And they did get the finger thumbnail there. They didn't get it on Maurice from Walgreens. They did get it on Mickey James in the most recent Elite, the 58. Got it there. So, good job, Mattel. At least you got that. But for $10, I would highly recommend this figure. Oh, let's see. She should have some thigh articulation as well. She's there. You just gotta kind of hold on the side over here so you don't rip the joint off of her and the ball socket. Just can't even seem to get this one to move. And I'm not gonna break it, but anyway, it's supposed to move. She got some thick thighs there. These look a little bit better. I think the old Sasha Banks had the AJ Lee legs. A lot of people complained about that. She's kind of like I don't know, it's just a little odd. Just a little, the way her movements are. Like Frankenstein. They did make a zombie figure of her. Okay, let's get into the belts real quick before we go. Here's the Divas Championship, which she won on her very first debut on Raw 2014. Here's the NXT title. She was the NXT Women's Championship. Sorry, that's upside down. She was the very first NXT champion for the women. So, let's put this around her waist. See how it fits real quick. This thing is really, really straight here. Okay. And voila. There we go. Should be plugging in. Plug in. Okay. A little bit tighter fit than the women's on watch. That looks a little big. The belt, I think, looks a little big too. Now a second. Let's see something. That's what I thought. See, that's what it looks like in real life when she actually wore it. It was really small. I don't know if they adjusted it or changed it in some way. Looks like it has a little bit of gold. This one's just all silver. I don't know. I've heard about this in the past. The NXT title, I think, is just way too big. I think what happened was they might have used they might have retooled this slightly to have these parts on it, but this might have been repurposed. This belt itself, see what the copyright data is on it. I think they might have repurposed it from a different title, like a World Heavyweight title or something. No, it says 2014, but it doesn't fit. It doesn't look good. Look how much bigger this is compared to the Divas title. And I'm pretty sure the Divas title in reality is slightly bigger. So this belt should fit much better, I would expect. It's also smaller. Looks like. It's also got a lot more notches. This one's got 6 instead of 4. And it just barely goes around her. Putting it on the last 2. And I think it's going to fit pretty good. Yeah. Well, yeah, you can make your own decision there. If you want it up high, that's as loose as it's gonna get too. This belt just doesn't fit, to be honest. Doesn't seem to fit right. It's all right, but it's like way too high. It might be a little bit different on maybe on a different figure. Let's try one more real quick. Let's try Bailey. Bailey might be a little bit thinner. No, it's going to be the same for Bailey. These are both basically the same kind of design. They're both elite type designs. It would have been the same for Bailey. Let's try Sasha Banks with the, or let's try, yeah, I guess we'll try Sasha real quick. Here's a newer figure without the newer type of body. Fits basically the same, but I mean, I don't know why they even have those holes there, except for decoration, because there ain't no way you're going to find a figure that skinny. Not unless you're wearing it around their arm or something, or their leg, but so the belts could be better. I'm a little disappointed with these titles. But this one looks better. This one should be a little bit bigger. This should be like on a belt like this. And this needs to be shrunk down a little bit. So they did paint a little bit of the belt. It looks like it's reddish pink or something. Like red, yeah. But I don't know what they did, but at least the Divas title looks pretty good. Look how short that is. Look how much bigger the NXT title is. Yeah, so the NXT title is way too big. The Divas title is actually too small. And I'm also definitely glad I only paid $10. Even for 20 though, I guess it would be a decent deal though, because you get two title belts. All right, so my overall on Paige with the 2 championships for $10. It's an awesome deal. Definitely 10 out of 10. I mean, her head could be a little better, but for $10, great deal. For 20, I'd say it's about a 9 out of 10 because this title is too small. This one is way too big. This belt I'd give like an 8 out of 10 or 7 if it's just the belt by itself. This one probably the same, but overall package, that's a pretty good deal. So Sasha Banks here. Basic is a basic, so you can't really judge it for the different types of, less articulation on the sockets here. Another thing, I could have made it a little easier for her to twist. Still can't twist it. And these ball joints, those are real easy to break, so you don't want to try too hard. You might want to put it underwater and try it or something. This one I got loose, but this one I didn't. So I didn't try to put the water on it yet though. So Sasha I'd give a 9 out of 10 because it looks great. You got the little slots there if you want to put your glasses on her. Her hands are posed in a way that you can put her rings on, the legit boss. You can put her necklace on if you have one. But the paint's outstanding, but it's not completely accurate. But I'm sure she might have maybe in NXT once wore blue knee pads. I mean, it's realistic. It's a possibility. But so I give them probably both a 9 out of 10. Just because this one, the likeness really could be better. Okay, so that's my review, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm going to be doing some custom soon, too. Painting and making figures look better, like Alexa Bliss and stuff. I just got to get out of my storage thing. All right.